Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly. And yes, it's another lanyard time. My husband, we got in the Kansept Valk. And it is the copper inlaid version of the fixie. And he's wanting, of course, I can just literally just get my fourth finger, we'll say 3.5 fingers on it. And of course, so his pinky doesn't get on there at all. So he's wanting a lanyard to help with his grip. And we were looking through my different ones, and this really looks more yellow than it is in person. But he's thinking with that, it will look, if he ends up not liking it, we may look for other cord and I'll eventually swap out and do different. But I do have a copper ghost bead that was from Damn Designs when they were selling them. And I got this one, a mocha tie, and I forget what the third one was. But this, other than the inexpensive beads that I have, this is pretty much the only really good, because this one was not a cheap one. I think it was like a $40 bead normally, that they had like half off or something like that. And he's like, yes, that will work for that. And like I said, this one is one that I'm not so sure he's going to really end up liking. And I'll keep an eye out when I'm looking at ordering more paracord and see if I can find one that might work better for him, because that's what I do. I just placed an order for like 8 more skeins or however you want to call these things. And let's see here, what lighter do I? Either I'm running out of go-go juice in this one, or it is getting low. I have, usually when I get like 3 or 4 lighters that need to be filled up, I put them off to the side as they run out, and then I'll fill multiple ones up at a time. Am I going to have to? Yeah, I'm going to have to squish it a little bit. So you might hear me yelp, because that is usually hot. Okay, let's see if yep, there we go. And as you guys know, I cut more paracord than I need, but when I go to make the diamond knot at the end, I need a little bit more room to maneuver on doing the diamond knot. So I'd rather have extra anyway, just to do that. And since that is right there on the end, I'm going to snug that up tight. And this is, doing lanyards not hard, guys. So doing your own, let me move this back a little bit. You can see better maybe. And honestly, on a lot of knives, fixed blades and whatnot, I think it is much better to tie them on to the knife itself. That's not necessarily a good example, since I did a wrap on it also. So that way it looks better. And depending on the size of the hole, a lot of times you cannot get the 550 cord through there. And if you use the micro cord to loop through and that, you're going to have that long, thin cord here. To me, that's not always a good thing either. You need somewhere for your pinky to purchase. That's what you're making these for, is for purchase. And if you got that long, thin cord, that's going to be taking up the spot where your pinky would be purchasing. Now, if you're just doing it for looks and you want to be able to remove it, that works great. But it depends more of what you're looking for. but most of the time I'll take one of my zipper pulls, because the zipper pull lanyard, it's the same thing. Usually the loop's just a little bit longer. I do make these zipper pulls, for the most part, large enough to where you should be able to, because you have to anyway, push it through and then feed it through the hole and flip it. But I'm sitting here. But you got to watch how big your hole is, because sometimes getting it through is a pain. Now, what I do suggest, if you have dental floss, a thin cord that's a strong cord, do the cord through there, take the two open ends, feed the ends through the hole, and then pull it. And a lot of times you might have to wiggle it. A lot of times you can get this cord through there, so that way you can then attach it. I mean, I think I've showed it in one of my other videos. Which one it is, I don't know. I can show it again. I think I posted one where somebody was saying they were having trouble doing that, and I explained it to them, and I don't think they were able to picture it with my horrible explanations. And I did a little video that they could look at to see what I meant. So that's just one of those things. I mean, it's kind of like trying to feed through the cord on the end. Depending on how you have it melted, you may need to make it more of a point. Feeding them through beads. This one has a good size hole, so this one should not be any issue. But sometimes the beads are smaller holes. I'm trying to look and see if I have any beads handy besides my ones, and because I made sure those holes were decent enough also. I don't. I got a 3D printed bead that I'm really not happy with. This is supposed to be a bead, but look at how big that hole is. That's not going to work as a bead. I need to see if I can play with it. But sometimes when you're feeding it through a bead, the cord is too thick. You can't get both pieces through. And I'd suggest cutting the cord at an angle and then heating it up and melting it and kind of twisting it together where it kind of comes to a point. Because that way, if you can get it partially fed through as you're twisting and working it through the bead, if you can grasp it, whether you use your fingers, pair of needle nose pliers, forceps, whatever you have, if you can grab both of them at the same time and pull, you can usually pull it through. It's just one of those things that it's to do. It's not hard, it's just thinking what will work for you to get it done. And normally for Brian's, I normally do like 4 or 5. But whereas I actually could use a little bit of a lanyard on this. Oops, sounds like lunch is ready, or close to it. It may need to be in there a little bit longer. I may end up doing 6 on this, because I do it to where he has room for his pinky, and then the bead, and then my final knot. Let's see, this, and I'll do one more. I may not do the actual complete knot. I will sit there and have him try it first to make sure he doesn't want an extra knot in there when he gets home from work. Let me see. And see, for me, that gives that. And like I said, that should be good. I don't think that will be an issue for him. It's not like I don't have plenty of paracord, and not like I can't do it again if I need to, right? But see, big hole, easy to feed through. And yep, there we go. And it's one of those things. I've done multiple videos on how to do these, and I have one video that I've done like 5 or 6 knots in a row of doing the diamond knot. I highly suggest, if you're wanting to learn that, you watch that. I may end up doing another one where I have a better background and either a darker or lighter cord, depending on what I have as a background, on how to do this. But, oops, pull the right cord. But and you figure that's your diamond knot, and then I'll just work it up and tighten it up to where it'll probably actually fit inside that bead real well when I'm done. And I'll leave, like I normally do, I'll leave a little dangly bit on there. Like I said, I like to leave at least a little bit of a dangle, depending on how much room I'm needing for it, how much I'll leave. Sometimes I feel like leaving a little bit longer. It's just, see, it's like this one's a little bit longer on that one. It's what it is. Anyway, I thought I'd show you here. You got the copper, and I'll do that up, and you got the copper bead. Like I said, I'm still personally was not happy with this myself, and I'm thinking Brian will eventually want to change it. We just need to get a good color that looks more copperish to go with it. And I don't, unfortunately, some colors you're just not able to find with the paracord. It happens. I want something that goes a little bit better with something, and you kind of deal with what you got because they don't make that particular color, or you can't find it, or they don't make it any longer. It is whatever. But you guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye-bye.